players freedom, and you always talk about, hey, let's not stamp the young guy, let's let him play out and see what he's capable of. At the same time, is a level of like, if you're going to be an efficient shooter in this league, there are certain shots you probably need to take, or certain shots you need to exodus from your game. How do you balance that and communicate that, doing both those at the same time?
Yeah, I don't want to nitpick every shot that's taken. I don't believe in never. I think there's been some approaches to shot diets that have not worked in the NBA in terms of telling players like these shots are never. I think it's about balancing when and how many. I think we have to address it and have a conversation when the dosage is too high of the shots that we're trying to take out. Because I don't want to turn the players into robots. I don't want to turn them into overthinking every play they make, but I do think that there's a time and a place for certain shots, and so it's more about trying to help them understand, one, just basic analytics, shot values, and when you look at the shot clock, kind of when we think we'd like to try to seek better. And then as the clock winds down, the last 8 seconds, I kind of let them have, because I recognize they have to make plays, and there's times at the end of the clock you have to make something out of nothing. But it's all a part of the development process. I don't want to. It really, to me, is about how hard you're going to push on those things every day. I think we try to give them basic framework to live in, and when we feel like the proportions are getting off, we'll have conversations. But as they continue to grow, hopefully the habits get better. Young players, especially like rookies, they have so many things they're thinking about from an execution standpoint, from frankly, just kind of bringing the appropriate energy and competitiveness every night that they play, that we try to focus on some of those bigger picture things, and not make the shot selection piece overdone for them. But I do think that there's, in moments, we can feel when it's getting out of whack.
You talked the other night about forming an identity for the team at the beginning of the year. How much does Isaiah's emergence change or shift that thinking moving forward?
Yeah, it's a good question. It's definitely changed it. I think this summer is going to be big for Isaiah in terms of his improvement in a variety of areas. I think that Isaiah has represented himself really well, and I think we're proud of how he's played and how much better he's gotten. That being said, right now we're not a winning team, and so there are moments of kind of the reality check of, you're a starter for us right now, but that doesn't necessarily mean that your level of play meets the criteria to be a starter on a really good team. And that's just the truth. Isaiah's young and he's capable of getting a lot better, and so it's about maintaining that mindset. That's why every team and its individual context can sometimes warp people's sense of reality. And that's something that we're trying to fight every day. It's why we continue to coach from the foundational habits. It's why I talk about those things with you guys a lot, because again, there's people that are starting and will start in tonight's game that wouldn't necessarily start on a really, really good team, and that's not a shot at them. They're young. There aren't that many rookies that come into the NBA or second-year players in the NBA that are starters on contending teams. You can just look throughout the history of the league. There's not that many of them. So I want our guys to still keep striving for more and recognize that, like, because they play a certain role for us right now, does not mean that they're where they want to be as a player moving forward.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Discussion.